My name is Toby Nargi, and I'm founder of the BCF Coaching Academy. Now, over the years, I've studied hundreds of entrepreneurs and businesses. And what I've been able to discover over the years is that they make some fundamental errors. So today, I want to share with you in a short video 4 common mistakes SMEs make. Firstly, they do not know their real costs. So they are potentially selling products and services with no profit, or at worst case, at a loss. Many do not even know their break-even points. They do not understand the importance of profit. There's too much focus on cash flow because profit creates wealth. Thirdly, they do not understand their pricing. And fourth, they do not pay themselves first. Do you know how many units you need to sell before you make money? Do you know how much it costs to keep the doors open per day or per week or per month? And if not, why not? So what are your variable costs? What are your fixed costs, such as your overheads? So now let's take a look at break even. You have your fixed costs, and these are costs that are incurred in a business, whether you sell anything or not. And then you have your variable costs. These are costs associated with sales and volume. And your total cost is simply the sum of your fixed cost and variable cost. And then you have your total sales revenue. At that point where the total sales revenue intersects with the total cost, that's your break-even point. Anything below that is a loss, and anything above that is a profit. So now let's look at the balancing act of cash flow and profit. Here on, I said there's too much focus on cash flow and not enough on profit. Yes, cash flow is important. Cash is king. But also we have to understand that profit actually creates wealth. What we need to do in a business is balance the two. So you're balancing cash flow with profit, because you can have a business with cash flow but no profit. And that means you're going to be working harder and harder and harder. Whereas you can have a business with profit but no cash flow. That's when you go broke. Something to be aware of. If you do not create profit in your business, then you may be better off working for someone else. There are 2 major ways to increase your overall profitability. Firstly is increase your revenue, and secondly is decrease your costs of doing business. The easiest way is to raise your prices. And most small businesses haven't raised their prices since never. They're scared to death that any price increase, no matter how small, will lead to a mass exodus of all their customers. Raising your prices may or may not affect your sales dramatically. So a better understanding of how you set your pricing is really important. There are many businesses that undersell their products and services simply because they don't fully understand their pricing mechanism. There are numerous ways to determine pricing, which include the following, but not limited to: cost plus margin, competitor pricing, market pricing, so what the market thinks it's worth. And not judging a business's pricing can lead to underperformance and ultimately lead to business failure. To be successful understanding pricing, you have to determine whether your product or service is subject to elastic or inelastic pricing. So in elastic pricing, a small change in price is accompanied by a large change in demand. So they're really responsive to price change. Whereas inelastic, a small change in price will small change in demand. Thus, if a customer is thinking about buying a $35,000 car, then $1,000 price increase is not much of a shock as it is for a customer that's looking to buy a $14,000 car. So what is the market's price response function? So let's have a look at my graph. In inelastic pricing, price is not a big factor. An example might be like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. You can raise it by $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It won't have much of an effect. Whereas elastic pricing, your demand drops fast with increasing prices. An example of this is any commodity. So is your product or service subject to inelastic or elastic pricing? Maybe it might even look like this. Demand drops slowly with small price increases and then drops dramatically with larger price increases. Are you paying yourself first? If not, why not? Are you able to manage your business finances correctly? Are you paying your suppliers on time? Are you getting paid by your buyers swiftly? Are you paying your staff on time? Do you need more sales? What is it that keeps you from sleeping at night? And this is the reality of small business in Australia. Now, the figures are a little bit old, but it highlights the point I'm trying to make here. And that is that 2/3 of operators earn less than $1,000 net per week, whereas wages of $2,000 or more only represent less than 9%. So most small to medium enterprises are actually buying themselves a job, and that's a job with headaches. So earlier I did say you may be better off getting a job, because if you're running a business that is not profitable, then it's just giving you more headaches, things like tax, employees, paying rent, etc. So these are the 5 areas that we focus on through our 5-step profit formula. More leads, more conversions, more transactions, higher prices, which ultimately lead to more profits. So let me show you the results of what can be achieved using the strategies that we focus on. So this is our profit growth calculator. Now let's just take an example of a business. And in this example, let's say we use a baseline case of 1,000 leads per annum. And then out of that, we have a 25% conversion rate. So that means it's 250 customers per annum. And let's say each customer has 10 transactions per annum, and each customer has $100 per transaction. So then you can simply work out the total revenue at $250,000. And then let's say that net profit is 25%. So the bottom line is $62,500. But what if we said, let's increase the performance by just 10%? So now you have 1,100 leads. Your conversion's at 27.5%. Now that means you have 302 customers per annum. And let's say we increase the transactions from 10 to 11 per customer per annum, and we're charging higher prices, say $110. Now your revenue rises to $365,000 or just over. Then let's say that we increase the net profits to 27.5%. Now your bottom line is over $100,000. That's almost a $38,000 increase by just tweaking the business 10%. That's an increase of 61% in profit. And this is just a conservative example of what we can do for your business. But let's say we look at increasing your revenues by 50% plus. So now you have 1,500 leads per annum, and the conversion rate is 37.5%. So that means you now have 562 customers, and we have 15 transactions per customer per annum. And now we are selling at $150 per transaction. The total revenue now becomes $1.264 million. And then let's say we increase the net profit margin to 37.5%. So that means the bottom line is $474,000 or just over. That's almost a $412,000 increase. With a 50% increase, we were able to get a whopping 658% increase in profit by just carefully adjusting and focusing on the metrics that matter. Are you ready to do an example for your business? Well, here is the link, and it's free. So what you can do is you put your figures in and then have a go and seeing what sort of scenarios you can create for yourself. Are you ready to grow your sales? Do you think you can do this? If you are ready to grow your business and would like to work with our revolutionary business growth system and our experienced team that will guarantee you results if you are willing to follow our system, then we would like to work with you. Contact us for a no obligation demonstration on how our system can work for your business. There are also many great free videos on our website. So if you want to access them, just click on the link shown in the description below. And remember, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we will be bringing many videos like this for your benefit. See you next time.